recently, and it's the first oil painting study that I've done since my most recent oil painting commission. And I just wanted to finish up the painting and just call it like a loose finished color study, basically. So I'm just going to be making a few final marks here and there. It's still going to be kept pretty loose in general, and I might play some very light music in the background from time to time as I go along, but this is probably just going to be a short session as I work towards finishing it up. But I will check over any comments from time to time. If anybody joins live, and if anybody has any questions, they can ask them at any time. But otherwise, I'm just going to go in and start finishing the painting off, even though that, yeah, it's a very loose study. I really liked the colours. I'm working from a photo for this, but something about the picture caught my attention with the warmth of the skin and the hair contrasted against the green background. So I decided I was going to paint a study of it. And this is also me basically practicing going live, because I've only gone live vertically once like this, which was last Friday. This is Saturday morning here in England. And I just want to get some of the practice up. As I draw and paint, and I can just flick on the camera from time to time, go live, and talk a little bit about the process and stuff. But this study will stay pretty loose. I just wanted to get some of the colour notes down that caught my attention in the first place. I've pushed the ginger hair a bit stronger in this study compared to what's on the original photo that I'm looking at, where the hair is like a little bit blonder on both the figures. I just thought it gave like a nice balance and contrast against like those greens in the background. So I'm just mixing up a bit more yellow ochre, and I've got some orange mixes down here that I've mixed with cadmium red light, a little bit of titanium white, and yellow ochre. But for anybody who's watching, feel free to, if you have any questions or anything like that, I'll check from time to time when I can, and I'll answer them. Probably just going to do a little bit of, just a tiny bit of definition in the background with these leaves at some point. to increase the contrast in this area and a little bit around here. Make the background slightly darker, and I think I want to blend, I think this yellow is a bit too strong here. I want to blend some of this out and just apply a few finishing strokes here and there. A few impasto light strokes in the hair, and just a little bit, not too much. I'm gonna check the comments in a sec if anybody's here in the chat. But if anybody has joined, hello and welcome. Let me know where in the world you are watching from. Very curious to know. I really want to just get, like, there's a very fine line here that I just want to get, so bear with me. Just gonna have to mix slightly darker orange with some burnt umber, mixing it into my orange mix. This might be a bit too dark actually. Let's see, a little bit more yellow. But yeah, this exercise is just for me to get back into the swing of regular oil painting practice, because I've been absent for a while. I did finish a commission late last year, but I want to now, along with pencil drawing, do regular oil painting sessions. And, you know, it'll be a combination of figures, portraits, and also landscapes. Oh, is that Anjani? How are you doing, Anjani? I don't know if you're still here, but I can see your comment. And Loof, how's it going, mate? Thank you. Glad you like it. Where are you from? If that's Anjani there, which I think it is, she's from Trinidad. Must be beautiful there at the moment. Oh my God. Very different to the weather we've got here in southern England at the moment, which is very grey and wet, but perfect for indoor painting. Get the sessions in while you can. So let's see, what do I want to do here? But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, but I don't know if anybody was here, but I really just want to get some more live practice in and get used to doing it a bit more frequently, potentially even weekly. So if I can do that, it'll be good. I'll have to get used to talking and occasionally checking to see if people have commented and trying to answer people's comments whilst painting and trying to concentrate on that. So it's going to be a new skill to learn, but it's going to be fun. And if I think I'm going to go quiet for a few minutes, I'll just play some very light background music. So I think I'm going to shift over to light yellow ochre mix here. I just want to feather out this area here. There's a bit too much contrast. Don't want to draw the eye there. And yeah, I don't know how many people are actively practicing oil painting themselves who might be watching, or if somebody wants to get into oil painting, because for a lot of people it is quite an intimidating medium, but I think the more you practice, as with anything of course, the more you're just going to get used to it. And for very long periods of time, I wasn't practicing in it. I felt quite bad because I really enjoy it. It's my favourite painting medium. Let's see, let's test this. A little bit too strong. But yeah, oils has been my favourite painting medium since I started a few years ago. But it's just not that practical for travelling light with. So I tend to bring watercolour and gouache when I'm doing like travel plein air painting and stuff. Just a lot easier to deal with. You can just pack it away very, very quickly. It's pretty clean. But the more studio practice you can get in, I mean, you could literally just, I know it's hard with the fumes and stuff, but if you can sit near a window and you've got a good breeze coming through, you can definitely set up like a tiny little area we can practice and try and just keep the solvents out of the way. Maybe leave it near the window and stuff. Let's see, what do I want to do next? I think I want to lightly fan out this area here. It's a little bit too strong. But yeah, this is a painting that I started days ago, so a lot of it is dry. So unfortunately I'm not working wet on wet. So quite a bit of dry brushing going on. But it's all right because I can just add some additional thin layers on top and just go straight over. I need a little bit more white, titanium white. Where is it? There it is. Got an absolutely massive tube of that right here. I'm just gonna reload my palette with that, and I think I'm going to start, I'm going to start putting some stronger impasto strokes on the body, well, the clothing, this drapery that's going over the two figures, because some of it is really, really bright in the reference. It's like close to pure white in some areas, but that could just be the photo. But the sun's shining on a yellow dress or yellow material, or it's very lightly pale yellow. So I need to get some thick, even thicker strokes down. And I will be making another video very soon with like the whole time lapse of this, but I will be talking about oil painting and why it's really important to try to give it your full attention. Even though here I'm not exactly doing that because I'm talking whilst I'm doing this, but I'm still very much focused on the process. I think a tendency can be, when you're sat alone painting, to passively listen, or some people even watch things in the background, but you've really got to pay attention with oil painting. There's a lot going on, and you should be asking yourself lots of questions. Is something warmer or cooler compared to what it's next to. How are the values looking? And if you're watching and listening to stuff or not fully paying attention, you can make mistakes, a lot of them, which you don't have to. So I'm going to put in just a little highlight on the top of the ear. Just need to clean my brush slightly. And it's like a pinkish, yeah, it's like a very, very light pink colour. Let's see. A bit more titanium whites. That should be enough. And I'm not using a stick, because this is, well, for one, I don't actually have one. So I'm just using my finger, that very tip of like my fingernail, to rest against the panel. But it is a little bit risky, because if I touch some wet paint, excuse me, it will likely scratch a little bit, and I think that's happened here. So I'm gonna have to come over these green areas. Oh, hello, Toka Macy. How are you doing? Yeah, I remember you actually. Thank you so much for coming here. So, did I just pop up in your live stream again, or was it because you saw a notification or something? But thank you so much for joining. I'm just doing some oil painting practice here. Yeah, I'm trying to get in the flow of doing weekly, not just pencil drawing, but oil painting as well. Nice, glad you're doing good. Thank you. Yeah, it's just like a colour study. Nothing too detailed, but still it's quite a small painting of these two figures. And I'm just deciding where to put some final strokes. I feel like I need to make another highlight mix for the hair, just to make a few final additions. Thank you. Yeah, where are you from? Where are you watching from? Toka Macy. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to get some yellow ochre again. With titanium white, it's going to be a few final thick strokes on the hair. Let's test this. I'm going to go with a smaller brush. Yeah, I think I'll make a few more strokes on the body, and then the hair, and just a little bit more in the background. So I'm going to get some nice impasto-like strokes here in the hair. So let's get a thicker mixture. Yellow ochre and white again. And for anybody that might be watching, like, I could play some light background music. It's there ready, if you'd prefer that. rather than, because I feel like the oil painting is a little bit quieter than pencil sketching, right? Because especially when I'm doing these like very light strokes for details here and there, because it doesn't really make much sound. Let's see. Oh, there's a little pop-up that said add a Q&A or something. But it's disappeared. As soon as I went to click on it, it vanished. Right, where do I want to think? Got to hold so steady. Trying to make each stroke as accurate as I can. Please adjust suggestions of hair detail here and there. So, need that a little bit lighter, I think. Let's see, I think. Then we go back to some thicker strokes on the actual clothing. This is actually like some of the funnest parts of the painting, where you can really just go in and let loose a bit. But around the faces, I need to be a little bit more careful. It's a lot more tricky. I can't come in with a big brush like that because the painting's so small, unless I really tilt it well at a good angle. I feel like I want to maybe blend this in a little bit. But I'm just looking around. Let's see, where else do I want to leave a thick stroke? Maybe here a little bit, but not too much. And yeah, I think that could be good. So next, let's get another brush. Thank you. I'm glad you're here and watching. I think it's just me and you at the moment, Toka Macy. So thank you so much for being here. Let's see. So I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna just lightly fan some of this out. Is that a bit too strong? I think it is. Let's see. And might just put the tiniest little bit of magenta, because it's so strong. Just the tiniest little dabble in this mix. And desaturate it a little bit with some yellow ochre. And maybe this will be better. Let's see. just slightly. One like really satisfying thing about oil paintings, you can get like really into it, and then you feel like you've been looking at it for too long, and you can just leave it, go out and do something, or if you're doing it at night, go to bed or whatever, pack your stuff away, and then it can be really, really nice to like look at it the next day. I mean, I suppose that's the same with any painting really, but once you like properly take a step back and refresh your eyes, if you're stuck, things become clearer to you, get new ideas and stuff like that. Let's see, I think I need to add a little bit more stronger highlight just behind her head. I'm just checking the comments. Patience stay. Yeah, it's all good though. I mean, thank you though. I'm just like experimenting still with this. I don't know if there is a demand for YouTube lives with oil painting, so I don't know, that could be something. But maybe it's the time as well, like maybe trying a different, like, so for now it's just hit midday in England. I started 11:30 a.m. But maybe I could do something like this in the evening, and there might be some more active people looking to watch art lives on YouTube, potentially. Oh, for you it's night. Oh, what time? So you must be in the southern hemisphere. No, where could you be? Maybe you're, I actually have no idea. 11 p.m, wow. So you're 11 hours ahead of me. Saturday night, right? Or Friday night? Let's see. I imagine it's Saturday night. In fact, it has to be, doesn't it, really? I don't think there is a time zone that goes that far back. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. So I think I might move to some final strokes on the background layers now, the greens. I remember, I think it was New Zealand and Australia when I was over there, that part of the world. I think it's about 12, 13 hours ahead. So right now it'd be a similar time, I think, if not the same, like midnight. Also depends what state you're in, I think, in Australia. Just cleaning my best brush I'm going to use for the background. So, are you an artist as well, Toka Mason? Do you like to draw and paint? Let's see, so how dark do I actually want to go? Quite like this live setup though, because it's quite easy to do. I've just got my phone on a tripod, next to my easel, very similarly to how I was doing a pencil drawing live last week. Where I just had it literally pointing at the sketchbook. I don't know if I can do a vertical live and also have myself like another camera pointing at me. I don't think I can. But it's a lot more casual. So I think it could be a good way to ease into more regular live streaming because it'll definitely take some getting used to. You're not an artist, but mostly with pencils. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you do lives. Oh, I see. What kind of lives do you do? All you have is a phone and your iPad to record. Yeah, that's cool. Well, you've basically got two cameras there, haven't you? So, I mean, I've got my laptop close to me. I imagine I could just switch on the webcam, I think, for that. But I don't know if it works with this format. I think it's more for horizontal live streaming. And I think for that you need to use a different software. They might have changed it though, recently. I tried it once before. Oh, cool. Toca Boca, it's a game. No, I didn't know that, no. I used to be really, really into games. That was a big part of my childhood. Now I'm more just like inspired by it. But I don't own any consoles anymore. I mean, it could be a game that's on the phone, right? But yeah, like they did really inspire me when I was younger and when I was at college. I actually went on to study games design at uni, so I've got a lot of my design skills from that games design course, degree, I should say. That's cool. Yeah, and on top of doing fine art, I'm actually designing as well. I'm creating a project that's inspired by, I don't know if you know it, but have you heard of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and the sword Excalibur and the Lady of the Lake and all of that? Well, I'm doing a character design project bit by bit. It's taking a little bit of time because I'm also spending time working on my anatomy skills so I can draw the figure in any pose basically. But yeah, I am working on, I'm still working on basically a concept art portfolio as well. And I actually think that I'll be able to combine like character design concept art, which is directed for games, but it could also be for film. And it could also massively influence my drawing and paintings, like traditional. So it's quite exciting. Just gonna see here, how dark do I want to go around their heads? I think I want a little bit more blue. That's really cool. Appreciate you watching, not being an artist yourself and stuff. But yeah, I'll check out your channel then once I've finished. I'll see what you've been uploading with the game. Let's see. Yeah, for a long time I wasn't practicing oil painting, and it's silly really. It's really rewarding. It's challenging, but when you get into it, really rewarding. It's unreal. It just feels so good. I love the texture. I love how it looks. I even like the smell of oil paints. I love walking into a room the next day and it's just got that smell. Not of the solvents, but the oil paints. It just makes you want to paint more. Makes you want to look at more paintings and get inspired and just like dive into that world. So good. So now it can really come in quite thick and heavy in some areas. I think can probably pop the contrast down here a little bit more. Not too much. Don't want to drag the eyes down here, but just a little bit of suggestion, I think. Oh, thank you. That's amazing. A little Cerolia feel. Appreciate that. I've actually got a Cerolia book here. I'll go and get it actually. Haven't looked at it for a while, but just to show you. It's a really beautiful book by him. Well, of his work. It's got a lot of gorgeous paintings. It's quite thick as well. It's quite a thick book. I'll leave that in the background to remind myself to check it out later. But yeah, thank you for that. That was actually a gift. Somebody bought a gift for me for a while, so thanks, mate. Let's see. Yeah, this is just like, it's not a detailed oil painting. I just wanted to come in. I saw the reference photo and I just thought it's like, I mean, it's not as vibrant and intense as this. I wanted to push the colors a bit more, and I'll show that in a longer video. But I really like the original picture, and I've pushed like the reds off the hair a bit more and stuff like that, and freestyling a bit with the cools in the background to my taste, which is always fun. I feel like I need a bit more ultramarine blue on my palette though, run out. And yeah, this is just a painting I've been working on just for practice, just to get back in the swing of it after my latest commission, which was great fun to work on. Do I need some ultramarine blue? Can I stick with the cobalt blue? I've got a decent amount of cobalt blue left on my palette. I think I can stick with the cobalt blue. Yeah. Just gonna check the comments. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's very true with the books. If you're moving around a lot, it is difficult, but if you've got somewhere that you can call home, or at least you can store it if your home's changing, and you can come back to the books years later, I think it's so much worth having them in person, because at the end of the day, yeah, we can save like loads of photos and images of our favorite artists online into folders, which is great if, you know, but it's just easy to forget about it, and we never see them again, unless we intentionally go looking and we're like, I need to extract these images from the archives. But when you've got the books around, it's always around. You can just pick it up at some point and just take inspiration from their works and stuff. But yeah, maybe I'll give you a quick flick through actually. I mean, I've got to be careful not to drop it. It is thick and heavy as I hold it over my palette. Let's see. Is this going to work? It's going to be difficult for sure. Yeah, I can't really flick the pages, but I'll see if I can find some that are... There's a lot of paintings in here as well that are not really well known, that I haven't seen. this study. It's a bit darker. Let's see, of his, because he's most famous, I think, for his like beach paintings, isn't he? But he's done a lot of scenes with multiple figures in them. There's a lot of colour in these. Let's see. I mean, hang on. Let me move my palette. Maybe that'll help. Let's put that on the ground. I might be able to try not to let it touch the painting. Risky here, but yeah, it's a little bit difficult. But you can see sun, I think. It's a lot, there's a lot of paintings in there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm going to keep that near me for later. Spanish Master of Light. Where's my paintbrush? There it is. So, I am going to go back in some cooler notes in the background. A mixture of sap green and cobalt blue, and there's a little bit of burnt umber in there as well. Let's see. How long have I been streaming for? 42 minutes, longer than I thought I would. I thought I was just going to go for half an hour, but I'm glad I did anyway, because it's always hard. It's like, oh my God, because I'm not quite used to it yet, going live. And you're just sat here alone, trying to concentrate on the painting, but you also want to make sure that you're interacting with anybody that might be watching. But yeah, I've got so much blue in my palette here, I really want to bring some of it in. Add a bit of colour variation. Let me see. Just doing these greens is making me want to do a forest scene in oils. Been painting some forest scenes in watercolour and gouache in recent times, on my travels. But I think it'd be nice to do maybe a more detailed scene of a forest, maybe an English forest. Just gonna get a sip of tea. Got some brand new herbal teas at the moment, they're pretty good. Definitely can be some cooler notes in here. Yeah, it's funny, actually, on the topic of art books, I was actually looking at some more the other day that I'd really like to get. I've bookmarked a bunch. There's just so many good books out there, and all like just incredibly inspiring. So much better to open up one of those books than opening Instagram and scrolling through reels for like 10 minutes. I think now could add some slightly lighter, cool. And I'll probably look to wrap up, I think maybe the next 5 minutes or so. But yeah, I could make this a weekly thing. I'm trying to figure out if I should do both pencil drawing, traditional pencil drawing, and also oil paintings, or just one or the other, or vary it up, or do one a week each, potentially. So be careful here. Get too carried away, my talking. A little bit too dark. I was painting quite late last night. Didn't realise the time when I checked the time. And I used about 5 or 6 brushes. And usually I always like clean them with some soap, but I'd run out of soap. So today I'm gonna have to go and buy some and make sure that I give them a good clean later on today. I also have to start thinking about what I'm gonna paint next. I think I'll probably find something, some kind of portrait reference where it's a focus on one portrait and taking up more of the canvas space, the canvas panel, I should say. And maybe do some other primer. I think that would be cool to do a whole live stream, a whole painting on one live stream. That would take some serious concentration. I think it would be hard, but could definitely try it at some point. Maybe it could be like a really long stream, a few hours. What else do I want to add to this? Let me see. Do I want to push the values in this? This room I'm in as well. You would have heard that door just close, whoever's listening, but I'm right next to a laundry room. So I get some really nice quiet moments to myself. And then sometimes there's the doors closing and a humming from the machines. But at the moment it's pretty quiet. So let me see, do I want to add any more to this? I think I know what I'm going to do. Just slightly reduce the contrast here. Squint down, check my values. This might be a little bit too dark. That's good. I think I've created a little bit of a tangent there, unfortunately, but maybe I'll, because those hair strands are basically touching that, doesn't look right to me. A few more impasto strokes, titanium white and yellow ochre mix, I think. Might put a bit too much yellow ochre in this. I think I'm just going to soften this shadow area a little bit and then come in with a stronger highlight. Then I think wrap things up and then I'm going to head outside after this. Do a food shop and I'll come back and see if there's any last bits that I want to add, and then I will get to work on the video later on. But I also I'm considering doing another live stream later with some pencil drawing because I've got the day to myself today, so I could do another stream later on. And that stream would be, if I do it, it will be a continuation of, I took the Michelangelo's David statue, the photos of it, and I was drawing from that in my art community, which I've linked in the description, and I was drawing along to that live actually too, but I could just pick it up and continue because I wanted to complete at least one A3 page, large page, with the different angles of the statue itself, just to get a little bit more pencil drawing practice in. So I might do that later on because it's just going to increase my, just get the habit of going live, and I think that's good. The more that I do at the moment, the better. So, but if not, once a week is still a good, I think, target for me to aim at. Let me see. I see another line I can do. want to do just a very light highlight here. Have I got the right mix? I think I have. Tiny bit more impasto because it's just too much fun. I won't overdo it, but do you know what? I might leave it like this. I'm just going to look at it for about 10 seconds or so in silence. See if I can. One last stroke. Bit too long. No, I said one last stroke, didn't I? Final few strokes. Just get a little suggestion of some of those highlights in the hair. One final thing. Just clean this brush. I do usually wear some gloves actually when I'm painting, but it doesn't look so good on camera. Try not to get it all painting on my hands. Right, so I'm just going to quickly clean my brush before I come in and just make a few final strokes with this orangey part of the hair here. Just a few little lines. A little bit darker. A little bit more saturated. think for now I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go for a walk, come back, have another look, and see what's going on. And then, yeah, think about my next painting. Just going to check and see if I've missed anything. No, I think. Nice. Cool. All right, amazing. So, thank you for watching and attending. Definitely going to do more of these. I'll just, whoever's here watching at the moment, just give you a slightly different view. It's my palette as well. Actually, it's quite a cool view, but I wouldn't be able to paint if I had the camera like this. But showing the whole palette in a painting like that, it's quite nice. The book by Sorolia. Anyway, thank you so much. Anybody who's watching a replay as well, thank you for joining, and thank you those that came live. I've gone over an hour, which is really cool, longer than I expected. And I'm definitely going to experiment with more lives, for sure. I will see if there's a way where I can put the camera on me sometimes too, but I think in this vertical format I can't do it, but that's fine. And I will also experiment with playing some background music like this. Just, you might not even be able to hear it. I'll put it at a very low volume, but just to have something there, I think might be good too, rather than complete silence. But yeah, so we'll experiment a little bit, and potentially I'll do another live at some point today with some pencil drawing. It would be good if I could do it while it's still daylight, so I can sit in my desk area with the natural light. But let's see. If not, definitely sometime soon. But thank you so much, everybody, for